advertising creative. I have been one for 25 years this year. So what does that mean? So most so most people don't understand really what we do. Um, so my position is I am an executive creative director, which means I am the head of a creative department. But that is my position. But my occupation, what I do, is I lead a team to think of ideas that will solve current client or organization needs. That's also not clear. But it used to be that one would just make a commercial, a radio commercial, or a print ad. But in these days of digital media, of innovations that one can just create and work with people to help you create, the creative solutions can be anything, right? And so we think of those creative solutions. I am a copy-based creative, so I would write the words that would need to bring that idea to life. And then we work on my team are also art-based people who create the visuals to bring that idea to life. So I think it's best if I make cuento like what a creative solution process is like. So, for example, since we are doing this in the time of a pandemic, a work that has recently got us featured in a lot of things is a work called My Classroom. So there, the brief was in the middle of in the pandemic, mga 4 or 5 months in, McDonald's had a lot of their stores that were closed. They were still doing business via delivery. And our brief was, how do we make our brand still relevant to Filipinos, to Filipino families, Filipino communities in this time? And so the context then was so many teachers had to pivot quickly to online teaching, which many of them were not ready for, did not have the space for in their homes, did not have the internet for. So we put that together, and the creative solution was to turn the party rooms, which were closed for months in McDonald's stores, into clean, socially distanced, fully connected classrooms for teachers to use na may free coffee pa. And so we were able to do this in like 220 places around the Philippines and helped so many teachers just settle in to being able to do their online teaching and reach their students. So that's one, right? So that is a creative solution, and of course it made the McDonald's brand very relevant. It made the communities feel like McDonald's cared for them. And so again, we talk about brand love in our business, and that is a measure of how well usually a business does. So even in that pandemic, we were able to maintain or even increase brand love for McDonald's. So that's just an example of what we do in terms of creating creative solutions that can be anything. Growing up in this business, I have found that the more whole we bring ourselves to the table of the work we do every day, the more the work becomes meaningful. So, and that comes with with like growing up and being secure in your sense of self, in your sense of your sense of voice when you're at the table. So I found that when I'm true, when I encourage my team to be true to what they want to say right now, to the particular people we need to talk to, then it makes the work more meaningful. You know, we could be selling coffee, but what we're saying um, is that it helps you wake up well so you can do great things. For example, because you can do great things. Filipinos can do great things, but we're selling coffee. Why not? We can do that, and we have done that. Um, or it doesn't even have to be that deep. I love this story. So I had a very dude art director, um, who we were brainstorming for a kid's product, and he said Polly Pockets. So I don't know if you know Polly Pockets. It's a toy that's like a compact. You open it, and there's little dolls inside, little worlds. And his idea was around creating something like that. And he loved that it came from Polly Pockets because he loved his sisters. So he loved that it was like that whole campaign was a tribute to his sisters and how they made him play with their Polly Pockets. So like that, just I don't think a lot of people. No, that's not true. I think more people should learn that they can do this with their work, so that their work becomes more joyful, more meaningful for them, 'di ba? Parang it also, I mean, we can go back to consciousness, 'di ba? Of just doing things in non-zombie like fashion. Of just doing things very consciously. Like, sometimes I'm gonna wanna do something because it's just hard. I'm such a believer of that, doing the scary hard things. you know um so sometimes I'm gonna want to do something just because it's hard, like, I mean, obviously I'm very uh Inglesera, but sometimes I'm gonna want to be the one to write the Tagalog copy because I want to see if I can, you know so but again, it's because there is, mindfulness in the everyday. um and I was just talking to some teammates about how they need to go back to that consciousness that they used to have. I was talking to one who sort of lost that for different reasons, and I said, when you were so present, you were so amazing, but now because you are sort of an automatic pilot, parang the work is also not as amazing as it could be. And she realized that, so the words were really, I have to wake up. So yeah, that's why I'm praying for her. And for me, success is, I mean, of course, success for me is being good at what you do. First and foremost, like, again, I'll go back to this cuento of my friend. Her dad was a general, but he never said that when you asked him, what do you do? He never said he was a general. He said he was a pilot. So for me, like, I'm an ECD, head of a creative department, but what I want to be is a good creative, first and foremost, and I want my team to be good creatives. That's success. And I want what we do to be meaningful to us and to be meaningful to the people it needs to reach. It needs to make a difference to. And I find that when you're good at what you do, when you care about how it lands to the people it needs to resonate with, then the rest of success things like money and position will come. I have seen it in my career. I've done things for money, and it was the time when I wasn't happy with my work. But when I decided to concentrate on just doing what I could with the best heart, with the most energy I could muster within myself and my team, then the trappings of success came with it. I remember when I joined the Black Pencil team, um, my partner then, the business side of the agency, we said, okay, what is our ambition for our team? The two of us are new in starting this team. What's going to be our goalposts? And I said, it's simple. We're going to be rich, famous, and happy. And so for me, what was first and foremost was happy. We're going to have a happy team, because it's like happy creatives make good creatives, right? A happy environment is what allows people to be able to throw crazy ideas and discuss them and whatever. So we made sure of that. And then with that came the famous, in the sense that the work was recognized for being good, and with that came this financial rewards. So I believe you can have it both ways, or always, where you can have work that is meaningful. I recently gave a talk 2 Mondays ago, that was about creating impactful work, and basically what I said there was, what I have found is that when you listen to parang the good inside you, and you'll really hear it if you're listening for it, and you decide to respond wherever you are, you will find that it actually becomes easy to manifest whatever it's calling you to manifest. The allies will come, the energy of the team will just align, and you'll be able to bring forth what you were being called to bring forth. So yes, so parang the other thing I wanted to say is, I read this somewhere, and I super believe it, that when your inside totally matches your outside, then that is happiness and bliss and heaven on earth, right? So it's not just quite there. Like, for example, I feel closer to nature now. So I have so much more environmental consciousness. But part of my work is creating products, selling billions that actually create trash, right? So now I'm being called to, okay, what are we going to do about this? So the fact that I'm being called to that makes me want to respond, to do something kahit papano about this. So, for example, just today, I'm about to enroll in this online course in Harvard, which is Sustainable Business Development, where it's about transitioning business to more sustainable practices. So that's a response to that, just thinking of how are we going to be more environmentally conscious as we also try to provide Filipinos with good choices of products. So that's one thing I'm going to work on. I don't know yet how I will respond, but for me, the fact that it's there and I'm starting to think about it and pray about it, then hopefully what I will do, my small contribution to help answer that, will come to me. So when I turned 40, which was like a big milestone thing, a lot of life reflections happened at the time. It eventually became a book I wrote called Book of 40. But one of the my major moments was the realization that I had to thank my first year college writing teacher. Okay, because her name is Sian Abad Hugo. Yes, it's her Sian Abad Hugo. Um, and and it was so crystal clear to me that it was because of her belief in me and my writing that I realized that I was a writer, that I was a good writer, and that is what I wanted to do with my life. And and I followed that, and it gave me a very good life, a very good career. So I found her, and I had a date with her, and I told her how much she meant to my life. And she was so, of course, touched. But why I tell this story now in response to your question is because she said she was only 20 years old at that time, that she was this teacher that made all the difference to me. And she felt so unformed. And maybe, I think she used the word broken at that time. So she loves the idea that even in her unformedness, she still managed to push someone, me, in the right direction, to just say enough to me, to have enough wisdom that she was able to transfer to me so that I could be set on this path. And when I think about that, right? She was 20 years old. That's so young. That's younger than my daughter. So yes, to answer your question, man, parang we all can have this impact on the world if we just try to share our truth and connect with other people with the truth. Kung may mga magsasalon yan, then we've done our part, right? We've shared whatever gifts we have at that point. So yun, so ang galing-galing, di ba?